Hello and welcome to Huds Up, the podcast where we give you the heads up on what's been happening in the world of gaming. My name's Simon Lyle, and tonight I'm joined by Neil Dutton.
Hello.
Jordan Lyle.
Hey guys.
And Ian Kennedy.
Hi.
So guys, here we are, episode 2. They said it would never happen. I don't know who they are exactly, but they were saying it, I'm pretty sure. So, we have a few topics to cover this evening, and stuff that's been happening in the past week. First of all, we're going to go look at the Horizon Zero Dawn gameplay trailers that have been put up by Sony. Ian, I'll come to you on this. I know you're quite excited about Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, I think it's shaping up to be a pretty cool game. It's got a lot in it that nothing new, I wouldn't say, but the concept in itself is just an appealing world to play sandbox wise. And you see, it's kind of your primal hunting. The videos kind of show you hunting, but it's machines you're hunting, so it's like a reverse Terminator, if you like. I don't know. I'm excited though to see. I'm excited at the game, but I'm excited to see if there's going to be any big. I know some of the animals that are in it are kind of quite big, but I'm wondering if there's going to be any that are like Colossus size big. At some point, I'm excited to see if that happens.
Certainly, in some of the gameplay that we've seen so far, they have got the kind of like Brontosaurus or like massive giraffes type robots which look like huge, and that's something that definitely got me, was the scale. What about you, Neil? What you into this?
Yeah, I think so. It's the whole post-apocalyptic world, and it looks a bit like a mashup of Planet of the Apes and Skynet, because there's bits where you see wind turbines and you see sort of high-rise apartments and things in the background. The thing that's really, I think these videos themselves have really made me want to get it, because up until now I've not been interested really too much in the game, but it's certainly changed things. I was laughing at some of the videos themselves because she's called Aloy instead of Alloy, which makes sense, I suppose. But you see in the video that it's a sort of, it goes back in her life and it shows you a bit about her past. And I'm not sure if you start out as a kid like you did in Zelda all those years ago in the N64 in the Ocarina of Time, but certainly there's a bit in the video where she's sort of tumbling down a hill and she starts out as a kid and then changes into herself as a young woman. So it looks good. And yeah, I think the robots should be interesting to see what happens with the robots and if there are any big giant Colossus ones there. But certainly the crocodiles or alligators in it look amazing.
Yeah, totally agree. It's interesting you bring up Zelda. That's something that I was thinking about a lot when, watching these gameplay trailers and thinking about Breath of the Wild coming up and some of the gameplay that's been released for that. Jordan, you don't have a PS4, so what's your thoughts on Horizon Zero Dawn?
I cannot about that. Well, no, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I checked the trailers out, and it really makes me wish I had a PlayStation 4. I know it's shockingly unreal to think about it, and even the thing that Neil's talking about, the name there, I didn't even think about that. I'm not even going to lie. My intelligence has lacked me again since episode 1. Certainly, it looks a beautiful game. In all honesty, it looks like a great game. I'm pretty sure that Guerrilla Games is quite known for that as well. And I've also heard the fact that it can be explored without any sort of loading screens, and the vast size of the map is very appealing for somebody who wants to go and just explore. So yeah, that's my sort of kind of my tuppence. It makes me wish I had a PlayStation 4, but I'm still not probably going to get one. But anyway, we'll see.
So speaking of Zelda and Nintendo, we come to our second point. So yeah, it's still a week and a bit away to the release of the Switch. But someone's got one, and there's been a whole lot of videos up there and controversy around this. Has anyone checked these videos out?
I'll hold my hand up here and admit that I have not watched the videos. I'm aware of the story, but for me, when you get your new console and you're unboxing it, it's your moment to see what it is and what's inside and stuff, and it's almost like your Zelda treasure chest moment, and then you open up. So I don't want to see someone else open up. I'm a bit annoyed that someone has one, but I'm not going to watch them open it up because I want to do that for myself. So I personally wouldn't watch the video.
Okay, so I actually posted the videos on the Facebook page, and I watched them. I watched the unboxing, but previous to that, I'd watched the OS demonstration. And the OS demonstration itself, it was fairly bland. It was what you expected. So that's where people were picking up the OS has got a piece in it about the linking of your account to an online account rather than to the specific system. Because right now, if you lose your 3DO or 3DS, or you lose your Wii U, or it breaks, you've got to phone up Nintendo, and you've got to sort of give them your reference numbers and serial numbers in order to get your classic games and things that you purchase transferred over. In terms of the hardware and everything itself, it looked really nice. It looked really well done. There's a cable management piece for the docking station. It's got a USB as well as HDMI, and I think it's micro USB they're using for the power. It looks
USB-C actually.
USB-C, yeah. The guy still had trouble putting it in then, so it's quite funny.
Yeah, he kept turning it around. That was exactly what I thought.
But Flo KO actually asked him to do that unboxing after he'd already done the OS showing. Again, the videos will be linked, I'm sure, at the end for people to have a look at. But one of the things that showed in it as well was the parental control app, which is quite interesting. So you can actually have that on your phone. As a parent, you could stop your kids from playing it too much, which is a pro or con, depending on whether or not you're a kid or you're an adult with kids, a parent. But it looked really, really nice. It did look like a sort of plain tablet until you put the controllers and everything onto it. And then obviously we got the statement from Nintendo saying that it had been stolen. So we've posted that up on our Facebook page. You can have a read of that as well. It goes into a bit more detail that the person who had done it was from a third-party supplier, logistics, and they've actually been caught, and they're going to be taking it up with the local law enforcement in that area, etc. But it did actually make me think that I'm glad I've now pre-ordered one.
Welcome to the party. Jordan, will you be joining us?
Sadly, I don't know, to be honest.
Okay.
I kind of thought, like, I've been watching the story unfold on the Facebook as well, because keep right up to date, kids, with Huds Up on Facebook, and I was kind of wondering how they got it and blah blah, and as Neil's just explained, but my biggest thing was it looks pretty good. It looks better than what I thought it was going to be. It looks better made than I thought it was going to be. I always felt like when you were playing like the Wii and stuff like that, see if you swing it hard enough, it's going to break. Something's going to break off. But no, certainly I think it looks pretty good.
So yeah, the funny thing was with the guy who had the Switch and was doing the videos, he kind of had a few comments out there of when Nintendo had approached him to get the console back, and it sounded like, about some, I think we put up about, it sounded like the MIB I posted on the Facebook, like it sounded like he'd been kind of approached by the mafia or something, to get this console back. He kept saying things like, I can't really talk about it and stuff, but I'm not in any trouble, don't anyone be angry at Nintendo. So it sounded a bit sketchy, but that was before we knew about the console being stolen. It just appeared initially that it had been sent out by a retailer or whatever. But yeah, crazy story, and poor guy's had his Switch taken off him. So continuing on with the Nintendo news, it was announced this week past that Zelda's going to have a season pass for some DLC content. This is the first, I believe, in any mainline Zelda. I think the Dynasty Warriors Hyrule Warriors, had some DLC and things like that. But this is the first for mainline Zelda. What do you guys think about this?
I'm looking forward to the game itself, but I don't know about this season pass, because what does it add? Treasure chests, hard mode, a couple of expansions, which sound pretty cool, and an in-game T-shirt. That's kind of breaking the fourth wall a little bit. So it's an in-game T-shirt that you get for your money as well, which is just really strange. I mean, if it was in-game armor or a weapon that said Switch on it, maybe you'd get away with that. But a T-shirt, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not buying it. And I don't mean that in the sense of I won't buy it, because I might end up buying it for the two expansions, because you need to buy the season pass to get all of it, I believe. But Nintendo have done this before with the Mario Kart DLC. Mario Kart DLC was really, really good. And it was actually probably the best DLC you can buy, in the sense that you got a lot of stuff for your money, and it was actually worthwhile buying. But this one, I'm not sure about. I don't know.
I mean, what do you think? Would you pay for more Zelda?
Definitely. That's the answer. I would definitely pay for more Zelda. I don't always agree with how Nintendo bring out their content, though. As Neil said, Mario Kart was very, very good. It's usually what they do is they'll have like two lots coming out, and one is more expensive if you buy the one, but if you buy the two, it's a wee bit cheaper. But in terms of Zelda, I think they've made this playground, and it's the same with a lot of games nowadays. They spend so long developing these things and making these playgrounds, that they should really bring more content to it, like the Arkham games and stuff. Like everyone wants just that wee bit more out of the game, I think, and new stories. The Witcher's a prime thing of that, and Zelda always makes expansion packs is they're not putting dates on it. They'll make you wait. They'll get it right. But flip side of that, I had problems with Smash Bros. I was too much with that, to be honest. There was loads and loads and loads of characters fired at you, but they made you pay for it. And not only that, if you had it on the Wii U, you had to pay for the 3DS version as well. Like, it's effectively the same game, but it's handheld, and they're making you pay for the same character twice. Like, you could buy it on both consoles with like £1 or £2 more, but I didn't really. I felt they were milking it there. So I'm in support of it, yes, but they need to do it right, I think.
Yeah, I'm in for it. I mean, I'm getting Zelda, and it looks fantastic so far. So hopefully it'll be more of the same.
Well, guys, I'm going to say, all I would say is I'm going to take this from a non-Nintendo diehards point of view, but I think Nintendo's been doing it for 20 years. We've been doing DLC for 20 years. If you go back as far as you wanted new dungeons in the original A Link to the Past or Link's Awakening, you had to buy the games again on Game Boy Color in advance. In our Ocarina of Time, if you wanted a second quest, it was only on the bonus disc, which was a pre-order with the Wind Waker. And if you wanted an extra dungeon in hard mode and Twilight Princess, you had to buy the HD re-release on that one. So 20 years Nintendo's been hammering it for us. They've just been doing it so quietly and so secretive that it makes everybody else look pretty bad. Yeah, I'm gonna dump all over the top of Nintendo for this, because again, people who are diehard are I think they need to wake up and smell the coffee a wee bit with the 20 years of it, guys, and it's just not good. Sorry.
To be fair, I mean, I take your point, but like, if anything, they're getting better, because they're not charging you the full price of a new game to get this extra content. They are kind of getting with the times, and they're definitely not the first to do a season pass. And I mean, other companies, EA and Warner Brothers with the Arkham Knight season pass, have been criticised in the past for not actually letting us know what was in it. And there aren't many specifics, I understand that, but at least we're getting extra story content from this, and it is cheaper than most season passes. So let's move on to a game that probably won't have a season pass, or will it, Neil?
Oh, Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yes, there's been some gameplay videos released this week.
It is bound to have some form of season pass. Because I think 2 certainly did. I don't think 1 did. I can't remember off the top of my head. 3 did. 3 had.
Okay.
Certainly, you had pre-order bonuses, which I got along with the various different bits and pieces that came out, scaled model and all that, because I went and bought the stupidly expensive deluxe edition. In this one, though, it's completely different. You're not playing Shepard, you're playing a Pathfinder. The Pathfinder's going to be out in the galaxy, sort of fighting various different other fights this time round. There's a lot of different new elements to it. There's 4 different classes in it this time around, and you're not restricted to the classes, so you just change your loadout on it. The 4 different types of classes, there's a projectile one, which is based on the Milky Way, like where we are just now. There's also the Remnant, which is sort of laser weapons and things. It puts me in mind of sort of Halo, where you've got to wait on the weapon cooling down before you can keep using it. They're really accurate. They don't run out of ammo, whereas the projectile ones do. The other one's trying to get the name of, and it sounded like it's saying Julius. But the closed captions kept on saying US. So the US have plasma weapons. So the US have plasma weapons. They can be charged up. They're really slow to reload. I don't think you have restrictions on ammo, because they certainly don't mention it in the trailer itself. And then on top of that, you've got the melee weapons, which you kind of already had anyway when you played in the original Mass Effects themselves. But what they've done is they've added in sort of all of this along with more interesting or more intelligent AI, and the AI will actually try to flank you and get in your way, and so you basically can't camp out against the AI. They'll try to get around your cover, and on top of that, you've got sort of other elements to help you as well. You've got a jetpack that allows you to hover, so you can actually attack in different ways that you've not done before. And if you marry that up with your various different skill sets, combat, tech, and biotics, you can use them against the enemies to try and win at it. So I've played all 3 of them. I didn't complete the 3rd one. I don't know why I didn't finish it. I think I just got a little bit bored or distracted half the way through. I don't think I got bored. I think I got distracted by other things and never got a chance to finish it. But I'll certainly be considering this one. I don't know. Shepard was a big part of why you played Mass Effect, and taking him or her, depending on how you played out of it, it just might not feel the same to me. It's feel like almost like a new IP.
I mean, it's a different developer that's doing it, isn't it? It's still BioWare, but it's a different kind of arm of BioWare. But yeah, you play as like twin siblings. That's the way it goes? You go either the male or the female.
I think so. I think that's it. Yeah.
I mean, looking at the gameplay, I've never played any Mass Effect games. Well, that's a lie. I tried playing the first one recently. It's on EA Access, and I had like a month of that or something. But I've heard that the combat in that's quite, like, they changed it for 2 and 3, and those are closer to what Andromeda's going to be. But I couldn't really get into it. I don't know. It's the amount of systems that are there and the depth of the role playing, the RPG elements and things like that kind of scare me off a little bit.
So I've never played any of the Mass Effect games, but when I looked at the trailer, it looks like the new cover system that's been brought in reminds me a wee bit of Gears of War almost, and the graphics improvement in it looks huge as well. So it looks as if it could be a player at some stage.
What about you, Ian?
I've got a question actually. Do you still get the decision trees in this game? Because like obviously I know that's what Mass Effect's all about, but seeing the video, the trailers, it's just all the action it was showing you,
It's an interesting one. I've certainly not read anything about it being the same. I know they've dropped the Paragon and the other one that I can't remember all of a sudden. Paragon and Renegade, they've dropped that out of it. It'll be interesting to see what they've done with the decision tree, because obviously that will really, at the end of the day, what the decision trees did was they allowed you to have a sequel and then another sequel, so it carried on the story. But it wouldn't be Mass Effect without decision trees, but you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing they've said, that this one, they've kind of said that this may not be part of like a trilogy. It might not be the first part of a new trilogy or anything like that. It might be kind of standalone. So, but I can't see them not having that element in the gameplay either, to be honest.
Yeah, must answer my question. I've never played them. Basically, this one's way back to the days beyond of the Xbox with the Knight of the Old Republic, Star Wars, or Knights of the Old Republic, sorry. I wanted to get into it, but I've never been a big Star Wars fan. Yeah, boo me.
Sorry,
and then from there, I know that Jade Empire was meant to be really good, and then obviously Mass Effect kind of appeared. But I think the fact that there's decisions to be made and you can get different endings and stuff, and you need multiple plays of the game, I think they're just such big games that it's like, how much time can you really commit to something?
Yeah, that's kind of the way I feel about it, to be honest. It's like The Witcher or like Fallout. They seem like these amazing games, and they've got such a following, but personally it's like time-wise it's kind of a huge commitment, and that kind of freaks me out. The same as you, I kind of need to see, and if I know there's like 5 endings, I need to see them all. And that's when it's like, whoa, this gets scary, I mean, graphically the game looks great. I mean, from the videos, it's stunning visually. I mean, all the Mass Effect games have looked pretty good. But this was kind of shown off at the PS4 Pro reveal event. I know he's talked about the PS4 Pro last time, specifically about who had it and whatever, and what we thought about it. But kind of brings me to the thought of this week the Xbox announced when their E3 panel was going to be, and kind of heavily hinted that this was going to be the reveal of the Scorpio. So that their panel's going to be in the 11th of June. That's the Sunday. So that's a little earlier than usual for Microsoft. It's actually the same day as the Bethesda panel as well. But Xbox Scorpio, guys, what we thinking? I mean, 3 of us have got Xboxes here.
Well, I'm not buying an Xbox One just now because why should I if the Scorpio's coming along? But I need the Xbox One for some of the stuff that we do. So I'm going to end up buying one and then have to replace it with a Scorpio by the end of the year.
No, I totally get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, it's like if you've not got one, it seems like kind of like the wrong time to buy an Xbox One this year. I think if you can wait.
Well, for me, I'm unsure. It depends on the price tag straight away.
Yeah.
I mean, I managed to basically trade in my 360 and the entirety of all my games, and managed to buy my Xbox One for like a tenner. And which compared to nowadays, it would probably get me like 2 balloons and a whistle. But certainly for me, it's more or less just what games are going to be coming out. Do you know what I mean, if they go like that, you can only buy Crackdown or Red Dead 2 on Scorpio, then the TV's going out the window with it. Do you know what I mean? It's just simple as. In saying that, as Neil was saying in the last episode, I think Crackdown could be a couple more years away.
No,
by the sounds of
the
it.
same post that Phil Spencer had put up about the Scorpio and a few other games like State of Decay 2, he mentioned Crackdown 3 as being for 2017. So come on, Phil, get it out there, man. That's, it's been a wee while. The boys are waiting. Ian, what's your thoughts on Scorpio?
It's a star sign, isn't it? It's terrible. Nah, I'm not excited about Scorpio, really, personally. The hardware and specs, I don't know, it's not something that blows my mind. Obviously, I like Nintendo and we like weak consoles. No, I'm not ready to go into 4K gaming yet. I don't have a 4K TV. So it's a major investment, basically, to get not just the Scorpio but the new telly.
It's very true. I mean, I don't even have a 4K TV yet. I mean, the elements of super sampling really appealed to me, and the better performance and things like that. But I don't know. It's something that I will upgrade to at some point, but it's not probably going to be a day one or a this year purchase. But Neil can let us know what it's like, because he'll be getting it day one, so that'll be fine.
I'm not doing it this time. Definitely not doing it this time. No.
Okay, guys, that's Huds Up for this week. Thanks for joining us. As usual, the links will be below the YouTube video to all the videos we've discussed today. Neil, Facebook, Twitter?
Yep. You can find us on Facebook on facebook.com/WHI Gaming, and you can also find us on Twitter at twitter.com/WHI Gaming.
Okay, guys, remember to like and subscribe on Facebook and Twitter and also YouTube. This has been Huds Up, brought to you by What Happens in Gaming. See you next week.